Have you studied English for months, or maybe even years? But when it's time to speak, your mind goes blank? You understand words. You know grammar. You can read and maybe even write a little. But when someone says, "Hi, how are you?" you freeze. You panic. You forget everything. And you think, why can't I speak? Here's the truth. You are not the problem. And you are not alone. Millions of learners feel the same way. They study and study, but still can't speak. Why does this happen? And more important, how can we fix it? In this video, you'll learn the real reasons why you still don't speak English. And 5 simple changes you can make to finally start speaking with confidence. No pressure. No fear. Just small steps and big results. Let's fix your English. Let's find your voice. Let's begin. First, let's say something very important. You are not bad at English. You are not lazy. You are not too old. You are not bad with languages. Many people feel this way, but it's not true. The real problem is not you. The problem is often the method. Maybe you learned English in school. You studied grammar rules, vocabulary lists, and took tests. But no one taught you how to speak. Maybe you only read. Or only watched lessons. But you didn't practice using English in real life. That's not your fault. It's like learning to swim by reading a book, but never touching the water. You know the theory, but your body doesn't know how to move. The same is true for English. You've learned about the language. Now it's time to use the language. So don't say, "I can't speak English." Say, "I haven't practiced speaking yet." Because you can speak. And this video will help you get there, step by step. Let's talk about the biggest mistake most English learners make. They try to learn English the same way they learn math or science. They study grammar rules. They memorize lists of words. They do exercises in notebooks. But here's the problem. Language is not just knowledge. Language is a skill. You don't become a good singer by reading about music. You become a good singer by singing. You don't learn to play football by watching videos. You learn by kicking the ball. It's the same with English. Reading and studying are helpful. But if you don't listen, repeat, and speak, you won't feel fluent. The brain needs real input, real sounds, real situations, real words and context. Let's imagine you memorized the word hungry. You know the translation. You saw it in a book. But then you hear someone say, "I'm starving." You freeze. You don't understand. Why? Because books don't teach how people really speak. That's why stories, conversations, and repetition are so important. They teach you how English lives, not just how it looks. So if you've been learning rules, but not using the language, don't worry. Now you know what to do. Learn by doing. Speak while learning. Use the language. Let's talk about something that many learners never say out loud. You're afraid to speak. You worry. What if I say something wrong? What if people laugh at me? What if I forget the word? So you stay silent. You think. Better to say nothing than make a mistake. But here's the truth. Mistakes are not bad. Mistakes are proof that you are learning. When babies learn to talk, they make mistakes every day. And no one laughs. Everyone smiles and says, "Good job. You're learning." You need that same energy. You don't need to speak perfectly. You need to speak bravely. Each time you try, you get better. Each time you speak, you train your brain to think in English. Fear stops fluency. But courage builds confidence. So the next time you feel afraid to speak, say this to yourself. It's okay to make mistakes. That's how I learn. Then speak. Even if it's just one sentence. Because every time you speak, fear becomes smaller. And your voice becomes stronger. Here's a secret many learners don't know. Speaking doesn't come first. Listening does. If you want to speak English well, you need to listen a lot. Think about how babies learn. They listen to their parents for months before they ever say a word. They hear sounds, tones, and words again and again, until one day, they speak. But many English learners skip this step. They try to speak, without enough listening. They know words from reading, but their ears don't recognize the sounds. That's why it feels hard to talk. Your brain doesn't know the rhythm. Your mouth doesn't feel comfortable with the sounds. So what's the solution? Start listening to English every day. You don't need to understand 100%. Just listen. Watch simple stories. Listen to short podcasts. Play English while walking or cooking. Make it part of your daily life, like music in the background. The more you listen, the more your brain absorbs. You'll start to recognize words faster. You'll hear full phrases, not just pieces. And slowly, speaking will feel easier, because your brain and ears are ready. Listen first. Speak next. That's the natural way. Here's another reason you still struggle to speak. You think in your native language. Before saying a sentence, you translate in your mind. You think, then translate, then speak. But during a real conversation, there's no time. And that's when you freeze. You lose confidence. You stop talking. So how do you fix this? Start thinking in English, just a little every day. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be long. Start with easy things. Look at the sky and say, "It's cloudy." When you're hungry, think, "I want a sandwich." Before bed, say, "I'm tired." Good night. These small moments train your brain. It's okay if you don't know all the words. Use what you know. Little by little, you'll stop translating. English will start to feel automatic. Your words will come faster. Because when your mind thinks in English, your mouth speaks in English, with confidence. Now that you understand the problem, here comes the solution. You must speak a little English every day. Yes, every day. It doesn't have to be with a teacher. It doesn't have to be in a classroom. It doesn't even have to be with another person. You can start alone. Right now. Just you and your voice. Here are 4 simple ways to speak daily. 1. Talk to yourself. Look around and describe things. This is my phone. The window is open. I'm making coffee. 2. Repeat short sentences from videos or stories. Watch a short video. Pause. Repeat. Copy the voice. I don't know. Let's go. I'm ready. 3. Record your voice. Speak 1 sentence into your phone. Then listen. You'll notice your pronunciation, and get used to your voice in English. 4. Use apps that allow speaking practice. There are apps where you can talk to a bot, answer questions, or describe pictures. The key is not perfection. The key is practice. 1 sentence today. 2 sentences tomorrow. In 1 month, you'll be saying things you never thought possible. Speaking is a skill. And skills grow with action. So speak a little today, and grow a lot tomorrow. Daniel was 34 years old. He had studied English in school, at work, and online. He could read articles. He could understand TV shows. He even passed an English test. But when someone said, "Hi, how are you?" Daniel froze. He smiled, but didn't speak. Inside, he knew the words. But his mouth couldn't say them. He called it his silent English. All in his head, but nowhere else. One day, Daniel decided to try something new. He stopped reading grammar books. He stopped worrying about being perfect. And he started doing one thing. Speaking 1 sentence a day. At first, he spoke to himself in the mirror. Simple things like, "Today is sunny. I'm going to work." Then he recorded short audio messages. Then he joined a language app. Then a small online speaking group. He made mistakes. He forgot words. But he kept going. After 30 days, he said, "I can finally speak. Not perfectly, but freely." Daniel didn't need a perfect method. He just needed one habit: speak a little every day. And you can do the same. You don't need to be ready. You just need to begin. Now it's your turn. Let's build a simple plan to help you speak English every day, starting now. You don't need hours. You don't need special tools. You just need a few minutes and a little courage. Here's your 4-week speaking plan. Week 1, speak 1 sentence a day. Talk to yourself in English once a day. Use what you see, feel, or do. Examples. I'm brushing my teeth. It's hot today. Goal: get comfortable hearing your own voice in English. Week 2, repeat and record. Watch a short video in English. Pause and repeat 2 or 3 sentences. Then record your voice saying them. Goal: train your mouth to move with English rhythm. Week 3, talk about your day. At the end of each day, say 2 to 3 sentences about what happened. Example: I woke up at 7. I worked on my computer. I ate pasta for dinner. Goal: build confidence and practice using past tense. Week 4, ask and answer simple questions. Ask yourself basic questions in English and answer them. Example: question, what's your favorite food? A. I love pizza. Goal: prepare for real conversations. By the end of these 4 weeks, you won't just be learning English. You'll be using it. And that's when real progress happens. Not in your notebook, but in your voice. 1 sentence at a time. Every day. You've studied English. You've learned words. You've worked hard. But if you still don't speak, now you know why. It's not because you're not smart. It's not because you're too old. And it's definitely not because you can't. It's because speaking is a skill. And skills need practice. You don't need perfect grammar. You don't need to know every word. You just need to speak a little every day. So here's your mission. Stop being afraid of mistakes. Start using the English you already know. Speak out loud every single day. Even 1 sentence is powerful. Because 1 sentence today becomes 2 tomorrow. And soon, you'll be having real conversations. So now it's your turn. Like this video if you learned something useful. Comment below and answer this question. Backhand index pointing right, what's 1 sentence you will say in English today? And don't forget to subscribe for more videos to help you speak English with confidence. Because your voice matters. Your words matter. And your English journey starts now. Do you want to improve your English 20x faster? Whether it's grammar, conversation, or fluency, we have the perfect material for you. Click the link in the description or the first pinned comment and take your English to the next level.